Carl Dix. I'm down with the Revolutionary Communist Party, and I got an important announcement to make. I'm going down to Sanford, Florida, to connect up with the Basics bus tour when it hits Sanford after rolling through the South from Atlanta. It's bringing an important message to the people of Sanford, Florida. Now, y'all know what Sanford, Florida is. It's the place where Trayvon Martin was murdered by that vigilante wannabe cop, bringing to mind the lynching of Emmett Till almost 60 years ago. What's the message that the Basics bus tour is going to be bringing to Sanford? It's going to be in the form of a quote from Bob Avakian. No more generations of our youth, here and all around the world, whose life is over, whose fate has been sealed, who've been condemned to a life of misery and brutality, whom the system has destined for oppression and oblivion, even before they are born. I say no more of that.
That's all we saying. It can happen to anybody, and it don't matter what age you is or nothing. The police don't care. They'll kill anybody. That's real.
Banner from Sanford, Florida. You see that when we get caught in this, and that's the hope that we should do. You don't have to be out there.
Don't you know what lies ahead around the bend? I don't really want to see the sunrise. I don't really want to go another night before this is gone, buried and done. Not another night, not another night. Oh, not till that day has come, my love, and we will be so far, far away. Dreams of an old life fading in the moonlight. I don't need a priest telling me it's alright. Here's a little known fact: we're living under attack day and night, day and night. You know it's a crime what they do with our lives. Shoot us down, beat us up, spit us out. You know it's their right. Haunted every step of the way. I don't really want to see the sunrise.
And we want the people in Sanford to know too that they are not alone in this. People all over the country, everybody said we are all Trayvon, because this concentrated, the murder of Trayvon Martin concentrated so much in the experience of black youth across this country. And these people that we've gone to, the little kids, the grandparents, the men who got out of prison, a lot of people have shared their stories with us. They've taken off their hats or lifted up their shirts and shown us the wounds, the scars from beatings by police or torture in the prisons. And they have said they've had an opportunity to actually step, and people have stood up around the country against the murder of Trayvon Martin. People are finally standing up against this, and they're coming together and connecting with the revolution and the revolutionary leadership, and they're getting basics, and they're finding out about Bob Avakian, and they've been coming together to watch the videos with us. And we're letting the people of Sanford and the people of the world know that we're not just delivering this message. We're delivering this message, no more generations of our youth, and we've been bringing people forward around it, and we are bringing people into the movement for revolution, led by the leadership and the vision of Bob Avakian and the party he leads. That means we can actually make good on this. And people are getting in on that. And they're standing up, they're getting organized. We are out there with the Basics bus tour because this really has to end.
So we're on our way to Sanford to deliver this banner to the people there. This is something really powerful. Look at it, take a good look at it. Signatures all over it, reflecting the determination and the hopes and the aspirations of hundreds of people that have signed this, and really many thousands and millions of people beyond that. You know, when they know about this, it's so gonna connect with their deepest feelings and their deepest outrage about why do we have to live this way.
This one here, it's basics to be basics. And this one here, I really think is important. The future of our people is revolution. Signed by Nicholas Hayward, whose son was stolen by police who shot him down when he was just 13 years old. There's a couple other people on this banner whose sons were killed by police. And we didn't go looking for them. We went out in the neighborhoods, we went out in the communities of Atlanta, the black communities in Atlanta, the immigrant communities in Atlanta, and then in other parts of Georgia. We didn't go looking for people whose children had been stolen by police. We found them in every neighborhood we went to. And so their hopes are on this banner. We have a banner, one of the women who signed this banner was a black woman who was adopted. She was the first black child adopted by a white family, by a white woman. And growing up, she told us how the Klan drove her family and her mother out of Peoria, Illinois. The terror of that, the hatred for the idea that a white person would raise a black child. She came out, she signed the banner. You know, a lot of people came out, and then once you have one person talking with the revolutionaries, it sort of opens up an avenue for other people to come out too, where they're curious, but it's also unfamiliar, because revolution is something people don't yet know about. It's something people don't think is possible, they're not talking about, they're not thinking about. But as soon as we get out there with basics, with this quote, also there's a quote about, well, there's a quote about a meat grinder, that people look at this system, and they look at, you know, justice system, and they look at the few people who get justice, and they say, see, the system works. And BA says this is like looking at a meat grinder and ignoring the fact that all the meat is being ground up and destroyed, but one little piece slips through on the ground, and saying, hey, the meat grinder works. So this one kid really liked that quote, and he got the little shorties to read it with him. Yeah, the practice. It was really sweet. They were practicing reading, and he had them reading it to him. Go ahead.
Well, there's another one over here that says, standing for youth is our mission, but standing for humanity is our duty. And then there's one down here, we only want the world. And that's signed by Clyde Young.
I like this one. Where's my mule and 40 acres of land? You lied. Because people do know there's been betrayal after betrayal of black people by this country.
That's what we want to say to the people. We want them to take time. We're going to be showing like what different people have written on the banner. It's very moving. On the other hand, it reflects like what people are up against. You know, one of the statements right here is, don't let the world stop you. Yeah. Continue your journey. You know, that so many of our youth coming up today have to feel like they're up against the world, you know? And whatever the outpouring around Trayvon's murder has reflected the sentiment of millions of people that want things to change, you know, and are determined to fight for it. So we're taking that to a higher level with what's concentrated in this banner, and letting the people in Sanford know, and beyond that there's a movement for revolution. We don't have to live this way.
This banner and that message is going to be brought to the people of Sanford, Florida. People who stood up and refused to accept in silence the murder of Trayvon Martin, the way so many other black youth have been murdered, either by racist mobs, vigilantes, or cops. I mean, because we are done with a world where black youth take their lives in their hands by leaving their house, walking the streets, going to school or to work. We're done with a world where black parents have to tell their children what they have to do and can't do to have a chance to survive an encounter with a cop who's sworn to protect and serve, but all too often steals their lives. We're done with that kind of world. That quote from Avakian is a declaration that we want no more of that world. We're determined to bring that no more into being, to realize it. And the bus tour is spreading the voice and the work of Bob Avakian, a man whose work makes it much better chance that we can make revolution and bring a whole different world into being. It makes seizing a different kind of future possible. That's what we're bringing to Sanford, Florida. That's what we're going to be connecting up with people there, standing together with them, speaking out against the injustice with them, connecting them with the movement for revolution. That's why I'm going to be in Sanford, Florida. That's why the Basics bus tour is rolling there. Because look, people, the world as it is a horror. It's unacceptable, and we should not accept it. If you feel that way too, then come down to Sanford. Be with us when we bring that banner with that message to people. Stand up together with us. Speak out together with us. Refuse to accept this. Resist this injustice together with us. This injustice has to stop. We have to stand up and say no more. We have to mean